Hey patients, Dr. Epic here, back with another shield boost. Today I wanted to talk about the Protheans of the Mass Effect universe. I wanted to dive deeper into their society, their culture, achievements, legacy, and whatever else I could think of in regards to this fascinating element of the Mass Effect universe. Who knows, perhaps they will prove important in the next Mass Effect game, and this video is a good way to refresh knowledge and love for them. Spoilers for the Protheans and the Mass Effect games at large will follow. So, let's talk about the Protheans. First off, thank you for clicking. Before we explore the Protheans, I think it's important to define a Prothean. The Prothean society has been eradicated from the face of the galaxy around 50,000 years ago, leaving behind nothing but ruins of their cities on a few rare planets. According to the last known living self-identified Prothean, Javik, the Prothean society was pluralistic in the sense it encompassed several different races, all who would eventually call themselves Prothean. It is therefore hard to identify exactly what kind of life form makes up an actual Prothean organism. Is the term Prothean more a cultural one, such as for example the term American or Norwegian? Or is the term Prothean a more biological one, such as for example the term human or dog? The consensus appears to be that the species that Javik hails from is the true Prothean. This is backed up by memories in his so-called memory shard. The other species in the Prothean society will hereafter be referred to as Prothean clients by me, even though that may be an inaccurate term and not a widely recognized term. I'm just trying to separate the Prothean organisms from other members of Prothean society. Just let it be known though, that aside from Javik and the now defunct Prothean VI on Ilos, a lot of our knowledge on the Protheans stems from secondary sources such as the ruins and other artifacts. Now, with that established, we can begin to talk about the known Prothean biology. The Protheans possess 3 fingers, 4 eyes, and a notable quad-strand DNA structure. They are capable of utilizing biotic power, apparently without implants. They are theorized to be somewhat radiation resistant, due to the radiation emitting from still functioning Prothean technology like their old communication towers. Most notably, the Protheans possess an ability to read the memories of other organic beings and absorb their knowledge, like their language for instance. This ability needs only a touch and works even through shielded infantry armor. The abilities of the Protheans made them able to become apex predators of their planets and eventually able to develop spaceflight. With spaceflight, they discovered the ruins of an extinct race known as the Inosanon, who left behind clues as to how to master the Mass Effect and FTL technology. The Protheans used this knowledge to presumably be the first species in the Milky Way galaxy at the time to explore the mass relay network successfully on a very large scale. On their exploration of the galaxy, the Protheans encountered the hostile synthetic race known as the Metacon. Conflict would ensue between the Protheans and the Metacon. To survive, the Protheans decided to unite the intelligent organic species of the Milky Way to aid in the war against the machines. This would prove a long and bloody war, one that ended in decisive Prothean victory and the formation of the Prothean Empire as it would remain until their fall. According to the living source Javik, their society took the form of an assimilatory empire akin to the perished Roman Empire of Earth. The Protheans were atop, offering other species the possibility to join as Prothean clients or face military response from the Prothean Empire. The Protheans dominated by force. The Protheans' empire's military might was not something you would want to challenge. Their tactics were uniform and conservative, but largely effective in submitting the galaxy to their will. Not only was their immense size and numbers a force to be reckoned with at that point, the Prothean technology was also a major advantage for their empire. Not much is known about the military technology of the Protheans, but the alleged flagship of the Prothean Navy, Penumbra Apex, was equipped with a cannon similar in power to that of a Geth dreadnought. It is also known, according to Javik, that the Protheans possess technology to kill stars by making them go supernova. This is something the Protheans apparently did to the home system of the Shatil. At one point, the Protheans managed to reverse engineer a mass relay, a feat no one to date has accomplished other than them. Protheans apparently reviled artificial intelligence due to their brush with the Metacon and later the Reapers, of course. The Protheans were however skilled VI crafters, with at least a couple of them being confirmed to have survived 50,000 years into the future since their creation, namely Vigil and Vendetta. The Protheans also had managed to develop technology that could detect indoctrination instantly at some point, a technology that could be implemented into their VIs. In addition, they were also very skilled stasis designers, being able to create stasis facilities that, presumably under normal conditions, could survive and function, giving necessary power access for 50,000 years. But the Prothean society didn't consist just of war and battle. They also practiced more peaceful culture and values and other habits. It is unknown whether or not the Protheans in general practiced religion and rituals, but it is known that the belief in the cosmic imperative at least existed at the time. This is the belief that the living Prothean Javik seems to also believe in still. The cosmic imperative is, in short, the belief that the universe rewards the strong and punishes the weak. Whether this means that the universe is just a set of physical laws, or that the universe is an intelligent, omnipotent being, is not super clear to me. The Protheans were scientifically interested and gifted as well. It is known that they had advanced technology, blowing modern technology out of the water by miles. They could share this knowledge quickly and effectively through their touch ability, their galaxy-spanning beacons, and their memory shards, further making them a very efficient scientific force. They also showed great interest in the evolution of less evolved species, such as the Asari, Turians, Salarians, and humans. The Protheans sometimes involved themselves directly with the lesser species. Commander Shepard, for instance, stumbled across a Prothean artifact that hinted at the fact that the Protheans abducted Stone Age humans for more unknown direct experimentation. As retold in Asari religious doctrine as well, the Protheans intervened directly in the space above their homeworld to protect the Asari from greedy, resource-hungry contemporary species. Protheans are also believed to be the reason why the Asari have seemingly natural biotic abilities and not have the need for implants. It was apparently the result of Prothean genetic manipulation. They wanted the Asari to take a leading role in commanding other less intelligent species when the time for uplifting them came, so they placed a lot of faith and care and resources into the Asari. It is known, according to Javik, that the Protheans would at times eat less intelligent species, humans included. Furthermore, they would sometimes mate with lesser species, though it was regarded as a pointless activity. The Asari in particular were very exposed to Prothean mating. Protheans would sometimes designate certain individuals as avatars of a certain trait. For example, Javik is known as the Avatar of Vengeance. It is unclear what this means for the individual's rights and social standing, but becoming an avatar of a good virtue is likely to have been a good thing of great honor. It appears that the Prothean society and culture was heavily regulated by strict norms. According to Javik, gambling was a capital offense. An alternative pastime game was eye-staring contests. Apparently, eye-staring was a part of starting romantic and intimate activities between Protheans. The Prothean architecture mirrored the Reaper design of the Citadel and Mass Relay, leading to confusion in the later species as to what is Reaper tech, what is Prothean tech. The Protheans undoubtedly were masterful architects, however, as they managed to build massive megacities on the planets Pharos and Ilos, still standing and functioning in some of their areas 50,000 years later. The Citadel was the Prothean capital in their prime, the impenetrable heart of their empire, from which they controlled the entire known galaxy. It is apparent that the galactic Prothean society was a thriving one. Today, besides one known living individual, the Protheans are nowhere to be seen. All that remains are their ashes and the ruins. The reason for this was the arrival of the Reapers. The Reapers are a race of giant, half-synthetic, half-organic machines, magnitudes more advanced than all known life. They number in the uncountable numbers and deal in unimaginable power. The Reapers appeared en masse out of nowhere, directly at the Prothean heart, the Citadel. In doing so, each Prothean system was isolated from another as the Reapers seized control of the mass relay network. The Reapers used all the data left at the Citadel to find and hunt down all known pockets of Prothean society, with access to all the Prothean census data and all their star charts. The uniformity and strict top-down hierarchy of the Protheans made them easy targets for the Reapers. Once the Reapers cut off the Prothean head at the Citadel, the rest of the body fell to panic and ineffective leadership. The Prothean Empire was from here on systematically destroyed and eradicated by the Reapers, who did not respond to any calls for ceasefire or surrender. The Protheans tried to slow the Reapers by sacrificing worlds and regrouping, while the Reapers indoctrinated and processed the sacrificed population. The use of this tactic dwindled in efficiency over time, because it was only making the Reapers stronger and the Protheans fewer and weaker. Other tactics were even more desperate. The race of the Densorin attempted to sacrifice their children to the Reapers to appease them. The Reapers accepted this offer, but consumed the adults as well, nonetheless. This effectively eradicated all of the Densorin from history. During the Reaper invasion, the Protheans abandoned their studies and projects involving lesser intelligent species. Perhaps this was done in order to save them from the Reapers. Perhaps this was done in order so that a surviving Prothean could later rebuild the Empire using the lesser intelligent species. Regardless, this move ensured that the modern species of today survived the Reaper invasion of that time. It is unknown precisely how long the Reapers fought the Protheans, but it is believed to be at least longer than 2 centuries. During this conflict, the Reapers erased most of the Prothean structures and Protheans themselves. But not all Protheans were eradicated. Some were enslaved, indoctrinated, and turned into mindless husks of their former selves. Indoctrinated sleeper agents would pose a serious threat to all Prothean operations and refugee sanctuaries, sowing distrust among the survivors. The even more unlucky ones were transformed on a genetic level into what would become known as the Collectors, a mindless, indoctrinated race serving the Reapers' bidding. The Collectors would assist the Reapers in the return to the galaxy 50,000 years later and in construction of a new Reaper. It is unknown whether this is standard Reaper practice, or if the Protheans impressed them so much or insulted them so much that they turned them all into Collectors. The Collectors would be nearly eradicated after Commander Shepard's successful mission through the Omega-4 relay 50,000 years later. A few surviving Collectors would regain their Prothean minds once exposed to the Leviathan's indoctrination-breaking technology, and after that, aiding the galaxy in the next fight against the Reapers. What the Collectors will do after the war, one can only speculate. But today, these Collectors and Javik are all that remain of the Prothean species. As for their technology, it has proven paramount in the fight against the Reapers. Data from the planet Ilos and a VI on Thessia proved vital to stopping the Reaper plans. We owe the Protheans a great thanks. As for the future of the galaxy, it is still unknown what role the Protheans will play. In the next game, it is heavily implied from marketing that we are returning to the Milky Way. If that is the case, Protheans and their relics might become important again. But for that, we'll of course just have to wait and see. Hopefully not too super long. With that, I want to thank you for watching and exploring the Protheans with me. Do you know anything cool about the Protheans that I should have mentioned? If you do, please let me know. I absolutely love the Protheans. This is, however, all for now. Dr. Epic will be signing off, so subscribe for more Biotic Barriers.